3 years to the day, and the spirit of January the 6th lives on. So does the division. This was a protest outside the US Department of Justice in support of those jailed after January the 6th. It was a violent insurrection at the heart of US democracy. But time has created competing versions of events that day. Listen to the views here. January 6th was an event instigated by a crowd that marched on the Capitol. Why don't you believe that?
Because honestly, I believe that if you look at the full cascade of videos that are out there, you will see a much different story.
A setup. And people were tricked into going inside the Capitol building.
The doors were opened up, they were let in. They were
because
invited.
Of the weight of the crowd, because of numbers.
No, they weren't even pushing towards the Capitol by the footage. They're just standing there, and the officers opened the door and let them in.
This is video newly released. It shows rioters inside the Capitol building at the door to the chamber of the House of Representatives.
Come on, man, open the door!
As one films through the door, you see on his screen a law enforcement officer pointing his gun.
We're sick of this.
Then you see him through the door.
We're sick of it. Okay?
30 years.
Would you? Huh?
And I've never had people act this way.
The President of the United States, Joe Biden.
January 6th is the dividing and defining line through US politics, as reinforced by a president who invoked its events and implications as the calendar clicked into election year and he clocked on to campaign mode.
Donald Trump's campaign is obsessed with the past, not the future. He's willing to sacrifice our democracy.
Donald Trump conducts his campaign amidst uncertainty over where it goes. Colorado has blocked him from the Republican primary ballot, but now the Supreme Court has said it will hear an appeal against that. On his campaign trail, the politics and the law travel hand in hand.
And then he says that I'm bad for democracy. He's bad for democracy for another reason. He's incompetent. And when you're incompetent, you're bad for democracy. You're very bad for democracy.
On a wet Saturday in Washington, D.C., the look of January the 6th this year was rather different from the day at the Capitol 3 years ago, even if for a small crowd of demonstrators, the sentiment was the same. January the 6th, 2021 was a landmark date in this country for how it shaped American politics at the time and for how it shapes them still.
And the rocket's red glare.
Today, as then, the same issues surround the seat of power. James Matthews, Sky News, in Washington.